Hey folks, my name is Billy Buskell. I'm one of the producers on Mass Effect Andromeda, and earlier today, as part of N7 Day 2016, we announced that you'll finally be able to play Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 on your Xbox One through the backwards compatibility. Now, in order to do that, you're going to need to take a few steps. So I'm going to walk you through how to set up Mass Effect 3 on the Xbox One so I can start playing some Mass Effect 3 multiplayer later tonight. Now, if you run into a problem where your Mass Effect disc tells you it's not the right one, for example, I used the Mass Effect 3 disc at work today and it was fine. But now when I use the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer disc or the second disc from the collector's edition giant N7 box, it tells me it's not okay. And there's a way to get around that. What you want to do is go into here, My Games and Apps. You can find it up here in the top right corner, or I've already brought it up. Now you can see here, I've already highlighted it. It's in the ready to install section. So you'll see your games here. These are the ones you already have installed. Here's your apps. Here's a ready to install. These are the things you've technically been entitled to on the Microsoft side already. And there you can see I've actually installed Mass Effect 1 previously on another hard drive. Mass Effect 2, I have not done that one yet. Mass Effect 3 I tried at work today. That's where I use the disk. This time we're going to go ahead and grab this one here. So there we go. So this may take a while. We're going to hit install. And you'll see it moved out of here and it moved into the queue. This is about 15 gigs, a little bit, well, 15 and a half gigs. Now what we're going to see is it's going to take its time to install all that. Once it's finished, we'll walk you through the next step to get you back in and playing. And the beautiful thing is we'll walk you through the steps of how to get all the DLC, which is a little bit tricky at first, but you're going to want this if you want to play an entire playthrough with things like From Ashes, or if you want to be able to play all the multiplayer content like I do tonight. So we'll walk you through that in 1 second. It's going to take a bit of time for this to download, so you might want to go get a drink, make a sandwich, have some fun. In the meantime, you can also go check out Andromeda Initiative. You can find that on masseffect.com, and you're going to want to sign up for that, trust me. Also, check out beacon.bioware.com if you're like me and you like multiplayer. So we're at 99%. The game is almost done downloading. Once it hits 100, if this is all you own, if you only own the main game, you're off to the races. You press A, you get started, it'll boot up the game, and it's almost like you just booted up your Xbox 360 for the first time in a while. It's all handled through software emulation, so it's pretty cool, pretty quick. But as you can see here, we're hitting 100%. And if you're like me, though, I love the multiplayer, and I've got a bunch of the DLCs. I want to install those first. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here to ready to install. And we're going to go into games and we're going to find Mass Effect here. So here it is, and we're going to go to manage game. And in here, we'll see ready to install is a subset of that. And here's a whole bunch of DLCs. So you can see I've got all the various, the collector's edition, but I've got all of the multiplayer expansions, which I really enjoyed, and things like From Ashes and Leviathan, personal favorite. As well as Citadel. Also, if you haven't played Citadel, you got to. Although I don't see it here. I'll have to fix that afterwards. We're going to choose install all of them. It's another 7.5 gigs, 7.8 gigs. It's a fair bit, so make sure you have the storage space. I'm lucky I've got a 2 terabyte drive plugged into a 1 terabyte Xbox One S, so I've got plenty of room. We're going to go ahead and install all these. And this is going to take some more time, so we'll let these install. And you'll see these will go into the queue now instead of into the ready to install folder. So let's go back to the queue here. And there you go. So this is going to take a few moments to install. We now have the whole game and DLC installed. You can go from right here if you wish. We'll do that. So from my games and apps, you know what? Maybe we'll even pin this to the home. It's probably going to tell me I don't have enough room. Nope, we're good. All right, there we go. We're booting it up. It looks good. It looks good on. I think they do slight resolution treatments. But yeah, it looks good. It looks sharp. So here we go. It boots up. Software emulation of the Xbox 360, and then boots the game. There we go. So it's going to first pull down the Xbox 360 info. So this is where it's quickly, checking save profiles and everything else. I've never run the emulation on this Xbox before. I had on the one I tried at the studio earlier today. So It's just quickly pulling down all the details. And so if this is the first time you're booting up a backwards compatible title, you'll see this as part of your flow. If you've already done it once before, you probably won't see this. It should go straight into the game. Here we go. Now I did notice one thing. We'll see if it happens here. But on the first attempt, it kind of told me that there was a conflict of who had signed in. And I think that's just part of the initial boot flow. You can see I'm clearly signed in as myself. It's syncing my cloud storage. This is one of the steps I went through earlier as well. And then once it boots up, it may run into a couple hiccups here just as it boots up the first time. Don't worry if it does. A quick reboot of the title. You can see there's folks playing on the Xbox 360 and Xbox One. People want to play. Now the one tricky part is Apestronaut was the person I was chasing for a very long time on my goal to get to the top of my friends leaderboards for my N7 rating. That's kind of been crushed by some of the folks I've added to my friends list over the past probably 6 months to a year now. But still, it's great to see people are coming back and playing right now. So checking all the saves. These are the standard flow check-ins that it would do when you booted up Xbox 360 version of Mass Effect 3. Connects to servers, checks downloadable content, just basically rewrites and double checks that you have everything written there properly. You can go to the downloadable content store here. If you skip the steps I did of downloading it ahead of time, you'd be able to come here, and what it would do is it would show you a list of all the DLC you own. I think it's going to probably, I don't own the Citadel because I think I own it on a different account. I don't. There you go. But all the other ones, so say, let's go Reckoning. It's going to be like, hey, you can't do that through this menu. So if I do download again, I've already downloaded, but it's going to say, you can't do that through here. You could go straight to Manage Game here. So that's a different path you could have taken had you gone that way. But we've already downloaded all those things, so what we want to do is jump into multiplayer. And if you're not familiar, multiplayer is one of the areas I worked on during Mass Effect 3's development. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. I enjoyed the whole franchise, working on it from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. Multiplayer was just a ton of fun to work on with the team. I still have fun with it to this day. For a long time, we've been doing streams on Mondays with multiplayer. So there you go. This is the game. You can boot into to matches if you want. You can create your own match. I got my characters here. I switched this up actually just earlier today just to try it out at the studio. It totally works. I definitely have to go change up all my gear and spend my ability points, as you can see, my power points. So there you go. I hope this was helpful. If you guys would love to play some matches, I'm Alien on Twitch, on YouTube, on Xbox Live, PSN, and now Origin as well. And the idea of being able to play this game all over again on multiplayer with an Xbox Elite controller is so cool. So if you're like me and you're holding tight for the Andromeda initiative and Andromeda to come out early next year, feel free to jump in, send me an invite on Xbox Live, play some games.